Okay, hi. I have never played Rocksmith before. I'm aware of it. My understanding is this is the more like musical instruction-oriented rhythm game that's out there that kind of doubled down on education versus Rock Band, which is it's arcadey but slightly more accurate depending on what instrument you're playing. Like I played drums on Expert on Rock Band, which is very close to 1-to-1 if you have a pro kit. There's only a couple things missing from it. And then Guitar Hero, which is way more on the arcadey side. As far as my experience with music and with other instruments, I played first chair trumpet for 4 years in high school, like 20 years ago or something, 15 years ago. So I can read music. I have some musical ability. I can dick around on most instruments, meaning I can play like really basic, simple melodies. But that's about it. I do have a Fender Squier guitar for Rocksmith that I purchased from Amazon. It's like the cheapest one that had a good review on FakeSpot. But I just learned right before starting today that this game supports bass, and I have my wife's bass here that she bought several years ago that is probably extremely out of tune. I think that this is probably going to be a better beginner experience for me to at least get familiar with the way Rocksmith works and the UI and all that fun stuff. So I am going to go ahead and run the clock during things like tuning and setup because I think that's part of the fun with this kind of a game. We'll see how this goes, though, because an hour is not a ton of time, but it might be enough to at least get me introduced to how this whole thing works. So let me go ahead and get started here. Part of the fun. Currently have the Ubisoft thing turned off. If we play this again, I might set it up. Have you played before?
Of your Rocksmith experience, we're going to have you answer a few quick questions. First, have you played Rocksmith before?
No.
Welcome aboard. Now, how experienced would you say you are at playing guitar or bass? Think mostly about the one you want to play first today.
I play simple things. Okay, let's say beginner because it's true.
All right, now let's choose what kind of parts you want to play.
Let's do bass guitar.
A little about each one.
Also, I don't have a pick, so it's probably better that I do bass.
Give this one a shot.
Yeah, way less likely to break a string. I have a 2x2 headstock. And I've got a real tone cable, which hopefully will work.
Awesome.
Okay, I'll try turning it up a bit.
We're going to bring up a calibration meter here in a second. When you see it, play your strings hard and fast to make some noise. Do that until we tell you to stop.
Oh, the only one string is fine. Okay.
Okay, here goes. Get ready.
Mute.
Now make some noise.
I need to turn my meter. Oh, there we go. That helps.
Now, mute the strings.
Hopefully it doesn't get mad at me that I turned those up partway through. Tuning. This will be fun.
Tuning. Let's start with a low E string. That's the one that's thickest.
Everyone's favorite.
It's highlighted red in the game.
So during the tuning, this is where I'll appreciate feedback from chat on what you guys prefer as far as me being muted or the mic being turned down. Because you're going to be able to hear the actual string in addition to the game, and that might be annoying. So let me know what y'all think. I can mute, so you only hear the game audio, and I'll come off mute to talk, like the push to talk thing. Or I can just turn my volume way down or something. Yeah, this thing's hell out of tune.
Now let's tune the other strings. The next
This could be worse, actually.
Be sure not to hit the other strings when you try.
Sure not to hit the other strings when you try. Now, I think, is it true that when you tune, that you should always, when you're tightening, you should tighten and then slightly loosen at the end? Or is it the other way around, that you should loosen first and then tighten, just to kind of reduce the chance that you'll break something?
Be sure not to. This one here is the D string. It's blue.
Out of tune or in very creative tuning.
It's the one furthest away from you.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for the heads up, game.
Be sure
So
not to
nice
hit
of
the other
you.
strings when you try. Be sure not to hit the other strings when you try.
I have this fear of snapping a string whenever I'm doing this.
And finally, the G string in orange.
I think this last got played like multiple years ago.
When you try.
End with tightening?
All right,
okay.
Sounds great. Now, let's play each string one more time, just to double check that you're good to go.
How are hearing the strings from the mic versus hearing it in the game? Do you guys hear like a delay, or is it annoying yet?
It's yellow, which means it's on the A string.
This is way quieter to the mic than the Squire was.
One. Now, it's coming down the second lane.
Okay,
so you're
cool.
going to play the second fret. That means you put your finger right here, 2 spaces up. Let's start from the headstock and count the spaces between the metal strips. 1, 2, and that's where your finger goes. When the note gets all the way down to the front of the screen, play the string. Now,
Like that?
give it a shot.
Okay, they did it for
When
me.
the note reaches the bottom of the screen, play the A string. Great job.
Okay, but I think I need to be a little bit later than that, right? It's like when that note lines up with what's in the front of the screen.
Note. Check out the horizontal line coming down the screen. That means you play the
Open A.
string.
Okay.
It's yellow again, so this is an open A.
Got it.
So let's go ahead and play that open A. Like before,
They did it for me
we'll
again.
wait for you to find the right note. Nice. Now,
The game's tone isn't bad. Like with the headphones on, if you didn't have an amp and you just wanted to learn to play completely with Rocksmith, it
Don't
wouldn't
worry
be
if you miss a
terrible.
note. We'll wait
Impressed.
for you to find the right one. Sounds like you're in the wrong place.
2,
Move down a fret.
or am I having a tuning issue here? This should be the first fret, right?
Sounds like you're in the wrong place.
Might need to retune it.
Sounds like
Or maybe
you're
the
in
guitar is warped and there's an issue there.
Be sure you're on the right fret.
Definitely am.
I think you're on the wrong string there.
That time I wasn't.
Sweet.
Okay, so top to bottom. Gotcha. That makes sense. So it's kind of like reading a scrolling guitar tab.
Sounds like you're getting the hang of it. Now you're ready to take on
This is a real
Rocksmith.
guitar. I don't think... There's no way to play this with a controller, right?
The missions help guide you through the game, and by completing them, you earn points towards some pretty cool prizes.
I might get this for Jaden. I bet he would dig this. Can you use a DDR pad?
Learn a song.
Blitzkrieg
Sort
bot.
songs in a recommended order. Rocksmith adjusts the level of the song whenever you need it.
Oh, that's
The more
cool.
notes you get right, the closer you get
Oh.
to playing the master level version of the song.
I very much dig that. Good for Rocksmith. So far, I have a very good impression of this game. This cable works like flawlessly. I was really expecting to have more like PC gaming struggles with it. I mean, I haven't played the game yet. I guess we'll see if it's registering the notes correctly. It's 5. It sounds out of tune. Let's see. Let me go back to the tuning screen really quick. Tuner. Okay, let's try it now. Successfully hit a note in any song. Mission complete. Fuck yeah. I might need to switch to guitar just because I don't think it's picking up this thing very well. This thing is super old and it's been sitting unplayed for a long time. The time it worked. not buzz the fret, right? So I should hold my fretting finger as close to the fret as possible, right? Not in the center of the two frets. I remember trying to learn that earlier. And I have a question here for chat for people who are familiar with guitar in a second. Oh. My understanding is that 5 on the first 3 strings is the same as open on the next string. So why would they have me play 5? Is it just, do you get a different sound on a held fret versus an open string? Pressing too hard might make the note sharp. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Oh, okay, it might be like other notes that are nearby that I want to hit. Gotcha. Okay, so it doesn't show you the number every time unless if it changes. I don't know why I'm missing so many. It might be a volume thing here. I might go back and redo the calibration since I changed the volume knob halfway through. Okay, but it says I leveled up, so maybe I'll get a harder version of it next time. This is super cool. I'm super into this. I'm okay with starting on, like, embarrassingly easy. Let's see, tools. So where do I go to calibrate? Mixer. Audio engine settings? No. Oh, input gain override, maybe? Check the box to set the input gain manually when using your current setup. Doing this prevents Rocksmith from setting your gain automatically when you calibrate and have negative impact on note detection, so it's not recommended. Okay. Tuner, then press a button. Okay, try that. Calibrate. Thank you. Okay, let's see if that works better now that I have it all maxed out. Let's try, so if I do this again, it's going to make it slightly harder. Did I follow that right when it said path level up? I have basically no experience with real guitar. I've dicked around, you know, I picked one up and played the strings, but never actually played a song. Maybe I need to play like way harder, like louder. Oh, the bars are showing me the difficulty in each section. Something that actually made it worse. Oh, the arrow indicates it thinks I'm sharp. Okay, thank you, that's helpful. That might be from holding it too hard, you think? And there should be like a low note there when I get better at it, I guess. This might be like a posture thing that I'm like accidentally also hitting another string or something. It'll teach me to do a better job of keeping the other strings muted. So that's something I've struggled with when trying to play. Oh, this is new. This is just to scroll down the fretboard. Ooh, cute. That was cool. I like how it slowly moves to prep you for moving down the board. I'm trying to sit more precisely. I think that's what was happening, as I was like slightly hitting the A string. Okay, that went better.
Good performance.
This is what I mean by dicking around. Alright, let's try again. Presumably now it's going to be even harder because I've made good progress. Try not to do an hour, 45 minutes of Blitzkrieg Bop, but I need it because I'm a newbie. Download Primus. There you go. A string still sounds sharp, but looks like it gave it to me. So it looks like I can just hold down both of those frets with the same finger. Does this ever care about muting? Does it track whether or not you muted the string at the right time? Hey, one sec.
Yeah.
You can join if you want to. I don't think I'll hit you with the neck. Bass works.
Bass with the crappy neck.
Oh shit, that's complicated. So it does this while you're doing the song, it makes it harder? It tells you when you're late too, it's nice. Not great. Alright, I'm muting for Andrew to get ice.
Great performance.
Yeah, sorry, I muted for Andrea. I was just saying I really like how the difficulty setting works. Let me start the song over. Probably will do Blitzkrieg Bop for a bit. Thanks for the heads up with the buzzing, Kara. I was going to say that the way the difficulty progresses in this is extremely smart. It's very geared towards education as opposed to a game where it's like, pick expert or hard. It's like, no, we're just going to see whether you can play it or not. And I like that it does it live. I'm really sure that the A string is out of tune still.
Yeah. Let's go.
Actually, I don't think it's a tuner problem. I think I'm just holding the string wrong. So this is kind of interesting. I feel like I'm going to pause really quick. Like in this, the way that they slowly reveal the song to you, I'm not doing it right, obviously, but I'm starting to intuit like what note they're going to want me to play in the next section before it comes up. I feel like part of the struggle with this is that I think a lot of at least beginner guitarists and bassists are probably looking at their hands most of the time, right? So you don't have a lot of time to look at the screen without looking at the fretboard. It makes it hard to position your notes correctly if you're a novice like I am. So yeah, I think earlier when I thought I was out of tune, that sounds fine to me, but I think I was like right on the fret or something, or just holding it down too hard, or something else was the issue. Yeah, so we go. That sounds a little off. Well, you see what the in-game tuner says. It looks like the tuner kind of has its fine range as well, right? Where it's like as long as it's plus or minus 10, it just takes it. Yeah, you don't want to do this, right? That's not okay. You want to have your thumb in the dead center behind the neck, so that otherwise your hand doesn't have room to move. I actually did learn that from Rock Band, because if you try to make a claw around the neck, there's just songs you can't play. I guess it's fine. The G's a little sharp. But I haven't touched the G string. Oh, there's a precision tuner too. What does that do? Sorry, real quick. Calibrate, that's fine. You only get access to the precision tuner after you do the normal tuning once. Fingers. The bass string does not want to stay. Alright, I'm gonna keep trying. Let's see if I can just kind of learn what the game wants from me and then look at my hands instead of the game. Yeah, that's what happens. If I'm looking at the screen too much, my finger starts like drifting down the fretboard. I gotta be better about muting strings. I'm currently letting the strings just play. I missed if someone answered me earlier. Does this game ever, like, have a notation to tell you to mute a string? To go by sound. Oh yeah, I keep slipping down the fretboard. I can hear that it's wrong. I should probably just go by sound to adjust. Alright, I'm gonna keep practicing. This is fun though, I'm having a good time.
Great performance.
Let's go. Okay, yeah, we're getting faster now. Now it's punk. So I can use... Hold on, I have a question. So one of my biggest struggles as someone who's only dicked around on an instrument on one of these guitars or basses before, like, what... Should I be using my other fretting fingers to hold the strings muted, or should I be using my plucking fingers to mute the strings? Because I'm really bad about, like, brushing them slightly or just not keeping them quiet, and I assume that that's just something that you eventually get a muscle memory for. Song's meant to be played with a pick? Oh, really? So they'll tell you whether it's meant to be finger-picked or played with a pick? That's true, even for the bass? That's very surprising. Maybe I'll try to find a different song in the same tuning that, mute with the fret hand. So, like, my fingers should just be resting lightly on the strings that I'm not playing? Is that right? I know that I've heard for guitar there's a thing called palm muting, but that's like a specific sound that you're going for, right? Where, like, you can't really hear it on the bass as much, but... Alright, anyway, back we go. I guess it being the 5 makes sense now. Oh god, there's an extra note there now. That's fun. Oh, I had a good roll, now I lost it. What would playing with a pick change with the bass? So, okay, I'm learning something here. Apparently, when this is probably a bad habit from Rock Band, I would guess. When I move my index finger from the E string to the A string, and I'm not looking at it, obviously, because I'm trying to look at the game, I tend to, like, overshoot. Instead of going straight down, like, let me see if I can get it close to the mic. Instead of going from here straight to here, my finger goes from here, and then it like kind of slides down a little bit. And I think it's because in Rock Band, which I have more muscle memory for, you have such a wide space on the button that you're not going to actually hit the next button. But there's a bit more of a gradient across the frets. So I got to practice that a little bit more. I'll say at the 45-minute mark, I'll try a different song, but this is really productive for me right now. So picking is more punk. Okay, does it have like a louder, like a crunchier sound or something? So, okay, another question. If I am starting to think what the actual song is playing, and I just play that, will it yell at me if I play the extra notes, or is it really just checking to see if I play the notes that it specifically asks for? Because that's from a education perspective. If they calibrated the game that they don't care about extra notes, I think that's brilliant on their part. It never penalizes you for extra. That is genius. I'm a big fan of that. This isn't about full comboing the song. This is about learning to play the song. Okay, and I'll try to play it without looking. And I'll look up. This is a little too fast for me now that I'm far enough into the song that it's giving me the fast notes. I can't quite do... the 16th notes precisely yet, so that'll be a good one to come back to later. I think I'm going to move on from Blitzkrieg Bop now, just because I don't have that skill yet to play that fast. But we got to a good point. Max out of phrase, nice. Oh yeah, I'll do a Really, really like this game. Thank you for putting this on your sub block, Death Johnson. I'm definitely going to get my nephew to play this, if nothing else, right? Yeah, I gotta get a better feeling for the frets. So I think a way to do this is to, like, I'm just trying to think, like, how do I play this game? Or how do I learn the bass with this game? And I think that what you should probably be doing is looking ahead. If you're going to look at your fingers, look ahead at roughly where the note is. And because you probably know the song, just, like, then look at your fingers and play the note and then look back at the screen instead of trying to, like, I've been trying to keep my eyes on the screen the whole time, which is something that I do in like Rock Band and Guitar Hero, and I think that's a bad idea in this case, that it's actually helpful as a beginner for me to look at my fingers. Eventually I might get good enough to just know where the frets are. Helps to have a feel for the song.
So I
When you said that I got a perfect phrase earlier, where do I see that? Is it at the top of the screen? They turn purple, they're at max difficulty. Okay, so it tracks whether I was struggling with a specific phrase, and it doesn't make it harder until I nail it on a lower difficulty. This is great. I'm very impressed. I feel like you could actually use this to learn guitar. Or at least to play specific songs, maybe we should say. I have questions about how the, how does the real tone cable work? Is it just listening for the sound, or is it actually like picking stuff up from the pickups directly? Is that even possible? I don't know how guitars work. So like, I guess my question is like, if I played the right note but I played it on the wrong string, would the game register it as a hit, or does it actually want me to hit it on the string that they recommend? Only listens for the note, okay. Only cares about the pitch, okay. Ah! That's getting complicated now. It's not that complicated, but it's, when you're a newbie it is. So this is a game that I am having a blast failing at this. So I have this feeling that I know I can get better, and the game is really good at giving me feedback of what's going wrong, I think. Play with the mic, but it won't do the amp emulation because the cable does some processing to optimize it. I see. Why didn't it do any kind of like calibration?
Very good performance. So
it only calibrated based on volume, but it didn't calibrate based on me like hitting a string to a beat. Does it not need to do that or something with the way that it registers your notes? Let me try Hey Ya one more time.
Broaden your horizon.
How does it know that your timing is right, though, is what's surprising to me. Maybe it doesn't care, because it's so forgiving. That 5 makes more sense now. But then I see the notes intervening. Oh, wrong string, okay. Oh man, yeah, and it tells you, like, you just hit the wrong string, so let's point at the one you should be on. Wonderful. It listens for the volume spike of a new note, okay. I gotta develop finger calluses. Fingers are already certain kind of hurt, so I have no experience with this. Okay, I feel pretty comfortable with the E string and the A string. The D string, not so much. Yeah, I was... I like that since this game kind of encourages you to look away from the screen, I think that increases the chance you would actually learn the song and not just know how to play it as long as you're looking at the scrolling tab, right? Never moves notes. Okay. So you're only getting notes that were there that you just weren't having to play it before, right? It starts hiding the notes if you play enough at max out difficulty. That's incredible. I didn't know that Rocksmith was this cool. So I had heard about the Pro Guitar on Rock Band, which is kind of lame and doesn't really work. It's like slightly closer to real guitar, but it's not real. It's a good effort on Harmonix's part, and I just kind of assumed that Rocksmith was in a similar territory. I didn't realize that they were making an instructional tool more so than a video game, right? Ice cold. Oh, I went a little early there trying to look at the fretboard. I don't think I've ever heard this bass part before. So this is like a bass solo? I've never heard this in the song before. Hearing yourself, yeah.
Great performance.
Nice. Yeah, so I think in this case it just makes sense to repeat songs just because you're getting more content as you do it. If I'd started a new one, it would start completely from scratch, so. This is a good learning song, I think. It was nice to do Blitzkrieg Bop first because I forgot how fast the bass line is in that. So it's a nice, like, oh, it's punk, you don't really play all that many notes. And then you start playing, it's like, oh, but it's actually quite fast. And you can probably play it fast, but to play it precisely fast is going to be difficult. So it's a nice, like, you know, get killed by Genichiro at the beginning of the game so you can take revenge on him later song to start with. Riff repeater, what's that? It just repeats a phrase over and over. Ah. It's okay, you don't need to restart every time you fail because that's not what the game's about. I had to like stop myself from the muscle memory of like going and restarting. Focus one phrase and level it up. So like if I'm got most of the song done but not one phrase, I can go level that one up. Ah. This is a weird question. Is there a recommended, like, neutral fretting finger on bass or on guitar? Is your index finger best if you don't have to use your other fingers, or does it matter? It's personal preference. Ice Cold. I respect anyone who can sing and play an instrument at the same time. It's hard enough to talk to chat. Oh, I like how they change the tone of your bass for different sections. That's cool. Oh, wrong string. So that's the part I'm going to want to practice on Riff Repeater, right? The difficult bass solo in the middle. Oh shit. Cool. This game's a blast. Big fan. Dynamic tone switching was missing from the first game, and that gave you awful halfway points for songs. Oh, the mix clean and distorted. Yikes. Okay, so if I wanted to repeat this riff, so it's, okay, here we go, right? And it slows it down for you. Okay. Okay, I see what they're doing. I like they give you the lead-in. Can it get slightly faster each time, I'm guessing, when you succeed? Yeah, I think you're right saying be able to hear yourself is a big deal because, like, I'm automatically, like, at the beginning of the game, I was like, am I out of tune? Right? And I wasn't out of tune, I was just holding the strings wrong, and I was occasionally, like, drifting down the fretboard. And it's wild to be getting better in 45 minutes. And it's part of it is because the game gives you such good feedback when something goes wrong. This is like the poster child for good feedback in a video game. I need to probably use a different chair for this if I play this again. So this is the gamer chair. There's like these armrests in my way. So does it increase the speed automatically, or is it a thing that I set it? I turn it up, and I turn the speed up. I'm just curious what's going to happen. Oh, wait, no, there's an interesting concept there. So you can turn on the ability for it to level up and the ability for it to accelerate. Let's not do that difficulty then. I didn't realize this song got that hard. I see, they were off. Okay. Level up. Okay. This is pretty satisfying. So we'll level up until I nail it, right? Presumably. I cannot get to that. I can't get to the D string. I'm really struggling with it. Maybe I need to turn the speed down for that. Hold on. So you turn the speed back down, but will it still level up, or does it only level up when you're playing it at speed? Like it'll accelerate to speed and then slow down after leveling up or something? Accelerates then levels, okay. Oh, and you do riff repeater is in the middle of the song, and then the song can just keep playing depending on what you selected. That's cool. Okay.
Rocksmith's retro-style guitar-cade game. You can.
It's cool that you have the choice to even do that, though. Does anyone have a song that they recommend me play? Oh, I love Peace of Mind, but I bet it's hard. Let's play a Rush song. It's a good idea. But is it that bad? Because he has to play 3 instruments at the same time. Pour Some Sugar on Me. Oh, I hate that song though. Oh, so it already has it? Am I right that it's already increased the difficulty from the beginning just based on what I've done on songs so far, or does it always start you from like bare bones easy? Spacebar? Red iPhone. I was just wondering if the game starts starting you on a higher difficulty for certain songs, or if it always starts you from 0 unless if you specifically tell it to increase it. But I'll turn this one up a little bit since it sounds like it's supposed to be pretty easy, right? I might regret this. We'll try. Oh, did I not level the whole thing up there? Alright, let me try that one more time. So it's, sorry, let me find it. Space that I have to hit first. Difficulty up. And how do I select all? I'm using a controller, technically. I'm just trying to see. Bumpers? Okay. So I go over here, and then I do this. Gotcha. Okay, thank you. I just want to see what a max difficulty song is, because I haven't tried one yet. Got it. Okay, thank you for the help. One-armed drummer. Gets credit for that. Song's weird, though. open, my bad. Yeah, about 15 minutes. Nice, you haven't fun with it? What you want? I'm impressed. I was worried too. So, like, I had two ideas in my mind about this game before playing it. One, I was worried that it was going to be like the Rock Band Pro Guitar and basically be insubstantial. And then two, I was like, well, if it's not insubstantial, it's probably like impossible for a complete novice to be able to play it, that you have to have some basic knowledge. I mean, I guess maybe like I understand what the frets are. I know what the different strings are. I know that it's just a chromatic scale, counts up to 12, and it skips to the next string, and that sort of a thing. Oops. Oh, shit. I did not mean to restart the song. God, no, let me just play a different one. Don't want to play all of Pour Some Sugar on Me. So I imagine someone that has literally never touched one before might have some struggle, but... An independent study declared it the fastest way to learn guitar / marketing. They just play a song I like, just to hear a song I like, and we'll wrap on that. I think that'll be perfect. A song I really like. They have more Muse on here. Has Muse been more friendly with DLC? There's only like one Muse song in all of Rock Band right now, and it makes me sad. I've now been to 4 Muse concerts. This is always their encore closer. Ooh. What songs are they, do you know? Old Muse. Do they have Hysteria? The final boss song for bass. Nice. Those are all good choices. Might get us Ranger, see if she wants to get back into bass again. Because this is her, like I said, this is her bass. So, when Death Johnson went to add Rocksmith, it's like, just adding on the off chance that you like it and want to play it off stream, you know, maybe record it. And I'm like, probably not. Like, I don't want to let you down, but I'm probably going to play it for an hour and be like, I'm stressed out. But I'm actually having a complete blast. If I were to play this offline, my plan would be to treat it like old school RuneScape and just record when I'm playing it. I wonder if I could do this in RuneScape at the same time. I might even have my nephew Jaden come over, and maybe I'll show it to him and see if he's interested in doing any recording with it. But I would just load it to YouTube separate on a no particular schedule. There's some benefit in streaming it because then I can get tips from people watching. Y'all been very helpful so far. Buying RuneScape to a guitar. Marstead's choice is gone. This game isn't really beatable though, so I think doing it as offline free play would be the way for me to go. No, I thought I was prepared. I was not. Oh, I'm on 5. Shit, that's why I'm fucking up so bad. 14 is 2 after the double dot, is that right? Oh, but I'm playing the wrong string, because of course I am. Double dot is 12, okay. I won't count this overage against your subblock time, Death Johnson. Yay! This game is great. I endorse Rocksmith. Get Rocksmith. You already own a guitar. I think it is wild to me that they managed to make a cable that just works with any guitar, and it seems to register just fine. I mean, the only problem I could maybe foresee is that it's maybe too forgiving, but who cares, right? Like, it's still even if it's too forgiving, it's still a scrolling tab system that fills in notes until it generally thinks that you have the right idea, which is better than reading tabs, right? So that's pretty great. Thank you very much for putting this on there, Death Johnson, and for this name helping out, and Kara for helping out, and everyone in chat. That was a jolly old time. Yeah, if it's too forgiving, you just start listening to how bad you sound, right? Yeah, and like the fact that it doesn't tell you to mute, you're like, okay, I just need to listen to know when to mute. No, it's a great aid. It's a great teaching aid. Actually, I wonder if any instructors would use this as like a supplement, for lessons. I think so. Yeah, and it's something that Harmonix started to learn. So I think Harmonix this has always been their goal, and I'm kind of sad for them they didn't get to make this game. They basically did like drums, pro drums in Rock Band 3 and 4 are basically learning the drums for real. There's a couple things that are missing, but it's so close that you're going to learn a lot of the tools that you would need to play the real drums. But they never really got to do it with a guitar, and I know that they're all like music fans and musicians there, and the fact that Ubisoft seems like it beat them to the punch. Was anyone that was previously a Harmonix employee involved in making this game, or is it just a completely separate like track entirely, different people, different teams, that sort of thing? I'm going to go ahead and split the recording here. Well, in any case, that was fun. If I play more of this, I'm not going to promise anything, but if I play more, I will record it. If I record it, I will load it to YouTube and post about it in Discord. Oh, it was in development before Ubisoft bought it. Okay, so they injected money into it, basically, right? Cool.